Hey guys, Kyle Miller here again with Mortgage Brokers Ottawa. Hopefully going to provide you with another tip, a little advice, something that came across my desk. So, quick thing that came up, and let's set this up. Value, okay? Value is an interesting proposition because it can mean a couple different things to different people. Specifically, it's something that's valuable to you may not be valuable to somebody else, AKA your lender. Right? Again, let's look at it this way. The information I like to give out in these videos and the YouTube and the podcasts and Instagram and all that stuff, I may find that valuable or think people find that valuable. However, the market, i.e. the people, may not find it as valuable as I think, right? And that's the thing. So we talk about real estate, it's kind of the same thing. What you find valuable may your lender and the market may not. Case in point. I have a client who called, we've been working together for a little while, trying to get them set up into buying, their dream home. And we got their price point figured out, we got their qualifying figured out, yet they keep leaning towards these properties that are more rural and have acreage, right? And they sent me a property the other day and was like, hey, we found this is the price point, this is what we think we can get it at. I'm like, great, let's check it out. They sent me the MLS and it was like, bang, 36 acres. Now, here's where the value part comes in. 36 acres is very valuable to them. They want to have horses. They want to have, kind of hobby farm. They don't want to make money, but they want to have that feeling in that place, that space, and that's good. That's valuable to them. That's worth the price they're willing to pay for this thing. However, if you look at it from the lender side, lenders typically stop with they're doing their assessment on value. They're only looking at the house plus 5, maybe plus 10 acres. Which means if this house is priced based on the fact that there's 30 plus acres there, odds are the values aren't going to jive. You see what I mean? So that's where it could be difficult. What happens in a situation like that? The lender's only going to lend you that amount of money based on the house plus 10 acres, right? So let's say they want to pay $300,000. The offer on this place is $300,000. They do the appraisal and the value comes in at $250,000. The lender will give you the money, your 95%, 80%, whatever it is, financing on the $250,000 that their value came in at. You have to pony up the other $50,000 because you agreed to pay $300,000 for this place, right? So that's where the difference is, because the value to my clients is space, 36 acres, and all that cool stuff. However, the value on the market, i.e. the appraisal, is less than that because they don't necessarily do it all the way we think, right? This goes back to the other video I said about make sense. I guess we're gonna put this under the guise of sometimes lending doesn't make sense just because you think it makes sense and I think it makes sense, right? Lenders decide what they want to do, try to fit you in a box, and if you don't fit the box, doesn't make sense, you don't get the money. That's the way it goes. Case in point, does it make sense for this price to be had for this house? Sure, at X dollars an acre plus the house and this, boom, there's your value. But that's perceived value to you, the customer, not necessarily the market or the lender, right? And when appraisers are doing their stuff, or when lenders are asking for an appraisal, they want more of a sure thing, right? This house at 36 acres with a barn and this and that is worth X based on the market, right? And how long it takes to sell and what other places have sold, right? You go and think of it this way. You're in Barrhaven and you're buying a townhouse, your market is like this big because there's a billion homes in Barrhaven that are almost the same, right? For all intents and purposes. Those townhouses are all the same. As soon as you start getting into different markets, like now you're looking single detached, boom. And now you're looking at single detached on the golf course, boom. Now you're looking at, houses that are for sale out in the rural areas, boom. Your market shrinks and shrinks and shrinks and shrinks. And again, because we're pessimistic, not we, because the lenders are pessimistic, their whole concern is if you can't pay the bill, how are we gonna get our money back? If they have to take the house, how long is it gonna sit? How much is it gonna cost us? So they don't necessarily want to play in that space all the time in the rural areas and stuff. I mean, they do, but where you're gonna get kicked is value, right? So you have to be very careful about that. You have to be conscious about that because what's perceived value to you isn't necessarily the same to someone else. Think of it smaller terms, right? Pool. There's been people who are like, oh, it doesn't have a pool, I don't want to pay this price. Other people say, hell yeah, I'll buy that price, it's got a pool. Other people come in and say, hey, I'll pay that price if you fill the pool in with dirt. Again, value, right? So that's where things get a little bit messy there, and people have to be aware of that. So I hope that helps if you're someone who is looking at a very specific property, a very unique property, because those words, specific, unique, those definitely play into your heart as being valuable, and sometimes work against you when it comes down to the actual financing of the place and how the lender's gonna look at it. So hopefully that helps. If you need anything, you know where to get a hold of me: Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, email, phone, all that good stuff. And yeah, talk to you soon. Let me know, is this valuable?